Written in these walls are the stories that I can't explain.
My academic journey has been quite lengthy. After graduating high school in 2003, I explored several different academic paths. I attended UC Santa Barbara, where I found myself lost in the mix of hundreds of other students. Feeling that I had set myself up for academic failure, I decided to move back home and begin taking classes at the local community college. A year later, while traveling, I stumbled upon what would soon be my new career path. In 2005, I was enrolled in a liberal studies program at the University of Redlands, where I completed my bachelor's degree. After completing my bachelor's, I put my academics on hold and I started my family. I decided that being a stay-at-home mom was more important to me at the time than my career. A year later, I went back to work part-time, but soon I broke my leg, forcing me to take more time off. While I looked at it as a setback then, I now realize that the time off allowed me to explore my higher education options. After countless recommendations, I chose to remain at a private college where the student-to-teacher ratio is small, and I applied to Azusa Pacific University in the Special Education Teaching Credential Program. I then continued on to get my Master's of Education in Digital Teaching and Learning. Not only have my professors, peers, and coursework at APU helped to give me the strength that I need to be a successful educator, but I have become a more spiritual person through my academics as well. I have learned that God has a plan. This has been proven to me more times in the past 2 years than ever before in my life. For the past 2 years, I have been substitute teaching with several different school districts. For the 2014-2015 school year, my daughter was accepted to a charter school. Not only has this been the door opening to her academics, but for my career as well. I was lucky enough to take a 6-week subbing position in my daughter's class, which exposed me to many different aspects of education that I hadn't experienced in the past. I became familiar with lesson planning, developing classroom management skills in real life rather than on paper, and learning how to function as a real teacher rather than walking into a classroom with everything handed to you in a folder. During my subbing position, I found the grounds for my action research. Coming into a classroom where a foundation and classroom management strategies had already been put into play posed a bit of a challenge for me, especially with behavior issues that had been going on from the first weeks of school. I was quickly taken back to the things I had learned in my credentialing program and recovered the functional behavior analysis and behavior intervention plan that I did on myself. I decided that this is what I would use to take action towards the challenge I had become faced with in the classroom. Within the research question lie weeks ahead, which I would gather baseline data in order to track the occurrence of the behavior and attempt to find ways to change those behaviors. I set up goals for myself for handling the target behaviors, conducted an ABC analysis, established a hypothesis statement, and concluded that with persistence, diligence, patience, and the right team, behaviors can be changed. I also learned that the behavior being changed might not always result in the change that you had planned. Although the outcome of this student's initial frequency of hitting, kicking, and using physical negative behavior towards other students was drastically minimized, it still occurred sporadically along with the development of new behaviors, and therefore a secondary FBA may be necessary in this case. For my curricular unit, I chose to do my lessons on the California mission system. O California is a 20-day 4th grade unit built around Common Core state standards in reading, writing, speaking, and listening. In order to reach the standards of higher teaching and learning, I incorporated many lessons based around Howard Gardner's multiple intelligences theory and Norman Webb's depth of knowledge. Additionally, multiple aspects of technology have been integrated into the lesson to conform to our digital natives, adapt to diverse learning styles, boost student motivation, and enhance the material being taught. Over the course of the unit, students will identify the location of the missions and how El Camino Real is significant, learn how the missions changed the economy of California, research what life was like at the missions and how the Indians' lives were so drastically changed by them, take virtual tours of the missions to learn about the grounds, and explore mission music. Students will wrap up the unit by presenting a final project, a replica model of their mission, a report, or a creative tune. Along with that, students will keep a blog in which they will be regularly posting assignments and progress they are making towards their final projects. Life never leads us down the path that we expect. We climb mountains, take risks, soar to great heights, experience love, failure, success, and accomplishment, to name a few, which makes each day an extraordinary journey worth traveling. When I started at APU, I realized that I was investing 2 years of my life to a head buried in a book or a computer. But now that I have traveled this remarkable academic journey, I look back and realize that this is just the beginning of the rest of my career. So many opportunities lie ahead of me now. So, in the words of Dr. Seuss, you're off to great places, today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way.
The story